Hi, my name is Anna Lee Barnett. I'm a landscape ecologist with the Nature Conservancy's Center for Resilient Conservation Science. I worked on our freshwater resilience analysis for the Conterminous US, and I'm excited to share how you can interact with the results of this work through our Resilient River Explorer tool.
In this segment, I'm going to show how to examine TNC's terrestrial and freshwater resilience results in a coastal watershed. The opening map for the terrestrial tab of the Resilient River Explorer shows TNC's terrestrial resilience results. Terrestrial resilience estimates the capacity of a land area to maintain species diversity and ecological function as the climate changes. Green colors indicate lands expected to be more resilient because their physical properties offer more options for species to move and adjust in response to climate change. Brown colors denote sites with less options for species seeking climate relief. Note the scrollable legend here on the right can be minimized or maximized. Click this link to access TNC's Resilient Land Mapping tool, where you can interact with the full suite of terrestrial resilience products and reports. When I'm ready to zoom to an area of interest to explore the terrestrial resilience results in more detail, I expand the Map Layers tab, turn on the state boundaries, and zoom to my area of interest. Alternatively, you could type a river name or other geography in the search box. Here, I'm going to zoom to the southeastern Georgia coast to where the Satilla River empties into the Atlantic Ocean. Let's turn on rivers. And now we can see the Satilla River here as it flows to the coast. You'll notice now that we're zoomed in these blue areas along the coast. These are marsh migration areas, low-lying lands suitable for nearby tidal marsh to move as sea levels rise. The light purple areas here are tidal marshes, estimated to be more resilient to climate change because they are large, have lots of accessible migration space, and are in relatively good ecological condition. We can turn on the functionally connected networks and get a picture of terrestrial resilience for the full functionally connected network of the Satilla River, which is quite large here. We can also turn on the Freshwater Resilient and Connected Network 2-class version by clicking here. The FRCN is a vision for freshwater conservation that identifies resilient or close to resilient areas with recognized freshwater biodiversity. We can see that a large area of the Satilla connected network is in the FRCN. Increasing the FRCN transparency shows us that many places that score high for terrestrial resilience, these green pixels, are near the Satilla and are also in the FRCN. Let's turn off the Freshwater Resilient and Connected Network and zoom into a coastal HUC 12 watershed to see kinds of information we can get from the terrestrial tab. I'm going to click on the map to select my HUC 12 of interest. What's happened now is the functionally connected network of this HUC 12 is also available for summarizing. It's currently masked out. We scroll up here, we'll see there are now 4 tabs visible after I've selected my HUC. HUCs, FCNs, HUC floodplain, and FCN floodplain. Let's take a closer look at the information in the HUCs tab. The first row of plots gives us information about the terrestrial resilience of this HUC 12. The dial here in this plot tells us that the mean terrestrial resilience score for this HUC is around average. The donut chart shows the distribution of terrestrial resilience classes in the HUC. In looking at the map, it is not surprising that the largest category is resilient tidal habitat, the purple area. You might wonder why, if there is so much resilient tidal habitat, the HUC only scores average in this plot. That's because this first plot is based only on lands, shown here, that are scored for terrestrial resilience and does not include tidal marsh areas. Scrolling down and clicking on the RCN donut plot shows us the distribution of terrestrial resilient and connected network, or RCN classes. The RCN is a connected network of resilient and biodiverse lands. It is the terrestrial analog of the FRCN. Most of the HUC is not in the terrestrial RCN because tidal marshes, resilient or not, were not included due to their susceptibility to sea level rise. However, if we click on the upstream HUC here, we can see that it has a large area in the RCN classified as resilient migration space, where the tidal marsh in that downstream HUC can hopefully move. Let's return to our original HUC and click on the climate flow plot. Climate flow refers to the gradual movement of populations in response to climate change. In the map, brown areas have low flow, where movement is blocked. Dark blue areas, such as a large connected zone of tidal marsh and marsh migration space, provides a concentrated high flow corridor. Scrolling up, the HUC floodplain tab provides the same information we just examined, but both the maps and the plots are limited to the footprint of the floodplain and riparian area within the HUC we were examining. Clicking on the FCNs tab will change the summaries and maps to the functionally connected network of the HUC we are examining, which for the Satilla, we need to zoom out to see. When we click on the RCN plot, we can see that the lands surrounding the Satilla River are the primary area of terrestrial resilient and connected network, or RCN. We can also see their importance to climate flow when we click on the climate flow plot. The FCN floodplain tab up here will restrict the summaries to the extent of the floodplain within the FCN, which you may need to zoom in to see. You can easily change which HUC and FCN you are examining by clicking elsewhere on the map or by scrolling down and clicking Clear Selected Unit. This concludes my segment on examining the terrestrial and freshwater resilience results for a coastal area. Click the More Info or Feedback to access more resources or to provide feedback. Thank you.